Let's talk about breaking the bank. A new report from watchdog group Open the Books shows the staggeringly high price tag of Joe Biden's pandering to illegal aliens and the left. The funding of grants through an HHS agency has added more than a whopping $20 billion, with just $10 billion spent in 2023 alone.
The agency in question, the HHS Office of Refugee Resettlement, is the very same one that lost track of 32,000 migrant children while doling out the money to various nonprofits. Maybe DOJ needs to take a look at the books.
Joining us now, former acting Department of Homeland Security Secretary and America First Policy Institute Executive Director, Chad Wolf. Chad, this is just one, I say small, $20 billion that Open the Books identified, but we're looking at numbers that will running in hundreds of billions of dollars because Joe Biden and company opened our border to illegal migrants for 4 years running.
Well, that's exactly right. And the $20 billion that we're talking about here for HHS, the Office of Refugee Resettlement, is just a fraction of what was spent over these 4 years of facilitating the worst border crisis that we have ever experienced. And of course, it's not just facilitating, but it's obviously paying for all of the different services once those illegal aliens arrived here in the United States. And of course, you're doing this at the expense of the American taxpayer. So every dollar that goes towards illegal aliens is not going towards an American citizen for a variety of different purposes. And so I think only now are we really starting to uncover the amount and the extent to which the Biden administration covered a lot of this up.
Chad, we want to move on to another issue, which is the Trump administration moving forward with plans to designate cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. President Trump addressed the problem earlier tonight. Please take a listen.
Mexico's allowed a tremendous number of people to go through their country into ours, and even people coming from Mexico. And illegals, totally illegal. Millions of people have come in, and hundreds of thousands, and actually millions are criminals. They came in from jails all over the world that release them into Mexico, and they come into our country. We're dealing with Mexico. I have a very good relationship with Mexico, but I think Mexico is largely run by the cartels.
Chad, we also, Fox confirming that the CIA is flying drones over Mexico. Do you have any concerns about this approach of treating cartels as terrorists and what that means to our relationship with Mexico?
I don't. Look, President Trump is providing real leadership on this issue. This is something that should have been done years ago. These groups are notoriously ruthless. They don't care about human life. They will attack Border Patrol officers, law enforcement, likely the military and others. And so what they're doing along that border is exactly very similar to what foreign terrorist organizations do as well. So I'm happy to see some of this. Look, does it complicate the relationship with Mexico? Perhaps. But we need Mexico to be doing a lot more than they're doing now. They've stepped up a little bit. We needed them to continue to step up over the next year to 2 years to really address this issue. And I think the president can provide leverage and is about the only one that can actually, negotiate with the government of Mexico and get them to do more. So I think this is a step certainly in the right direction.
Chad, you recently wrote a piece for Fox News on protecting Americans' data from China is central to the America First agenda, and connect these parts because China's central goal is to become, and James co-wrote a book on this very issue with Maria Bartiromo, but becoming the world's #1 superpower, and that's at the expense of the United States. So you connect what has happened with illegal migrants, the drug and human trafficking cartels out of Mexico, the trafficking of fentanyl, and then to China. And why is it so important to protect our data and how China would use it against us?
Well, absolutely, and you're exactly right. Look, China is trying to replace the United States as the superpower. And they're going to do everything. They're behind a lot of the fentanyl that's coming here to the United States, the human trafficking. They are working with the cartels in Mexico very actively. But when it comes to our data, This is really, really important. We know that the Chinese and the CCP specifically are stealing Americans' data left and right. And so it's really important that we protect that. We bring that back to the United States. President Trump is, again, providing leadership with the Stargate proposal project to do just that. And we want to see more of it. So I think it's a really important issue that our lives are controlled by data these days, and making sure that Americans have control over that and not the CCP is really important.
Chad, are you? I know there's been a data center building boom going on in this country, probably accelerates now. Is your concern that China may be offering good deals to American companies for hosting? What is the threat you're most concerned about?
Well, it certainly could be that, but making sure that those data centers that these companies, these very large companies are using are here in the United States, that we're able to protect that data in ways that we can't if they're being utilized overseas in a foreign country storing U.S. Data from citizens. So I think that's the real concern, and making sure that we're bringing that back here. President Trump is obviously providing that leadership with that investment with a handful of companies. You see some of those data centers being built in the state of Texas and elsewhere. Right. I think that's the way it needs to go moving forward as well. Yeah,
and not having the federal government be a sieve, because China hacked the Treasury Department through a work-at-home app. So get back to work, as Doge says. Chad Wolf, thank you so much. Great to see you.